How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
You
Yeah, I'm not even licensed yet. I'm still waiting on.
Nice.
You too?
Yeah.
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 How long did it take you to get? Get it?
I still haven't gotten.
Oh, you're not
Mail
licensed?
yet. No, I'm licensed.
Okay.
Haven't gotten.
Oh, yeah.
Mail yet.
Right.
I got the digital version. So.
Where's this thing? Yeah. 8 weeks.
Danielle,
How much is
we
it?
should do a
Not
like a volleyball
You done anything yet? Or you just been shadowing?
end of season.
Shadowing?
Are we done now?
I think so.
Cool.
Unless anybody wants to play ball, but I don't want to play ball.
I would, but it's
Yeah.
summer, so.
Really?
Yeah, work. Shit, out of your- Just get in.
All of you?
21, I think.
Yeah, we could do that.
Do.
20.
Should have talked to Peter about it. Pool's nicer than mine.
Are you part of the team or are you so?
Pool party at Peters.
Solo for now.
I've-
I want to get on the team now.
Been to his though, right?
100%.
You've been to his? Yeah.
Oh, shit.
My hottest league. Came from my mentor.
Really? Who's your mentor?
I got Angelique.
I
Yeah.
think I know. It helps a lot having a mentor.
For sure, yeah. Otherwise, I feel like I just be growing or close.
Who showed up on Friday?
What?
Said who showed up on Friday?
I was,
She just threw me somebody that.
I had open house.
Handed them to me.
Yeah.
One phone call and we're already going on.
I would have been
Friday,
there,
we're
but
this
I was-
Saturday.
Really?
Signing buyer, DNC Saturday.
Wasn't in the mood.
That's good.
Right, what are they, their average?
So, did you know, like, I mean, obviously you knew, but like.
So he was sick, but he was stable.
Oh.
Like
Just
just
was
the
like-
weekend before, like he was eating and drinking and like he couldn't move his arms or legs. He was always in his wheelchair and he had a 5-cap, like help him breathe all the time.
Yeah,
But wasn't expected now.
just accelerated somehow, right?
His heart just stopped. She said he was uncomfortable in the night, like kept asking her to cover him up and then uncover him and like, move him. And she woke up at 6 and thought he was still sleeping. And then the nurse came at 8 and put the pulse ox on and he was gone. So, yeah,
That's
yeah. Yeah, they're like it's weird. His wife doesn't like my dad. So
that's why he doesn't like you, that.
his wife doesn't like my dad.
Oh.
Because he never is like my dad, so it's like weird. You're dynamic now.
Why do you have?
This song brings back some memories.
I know.
You ever go to Madison when you were younger? Did you stay?
Not really.
There was a dance club in Madison that we would always drive to Thursday nights, underage night. Holy Cross it was called.
All right.
That's sorry. I brought snacks.
Yummy.
Oh, wow. There's snacks back there.
So I have no idea if our new theme song is gonna be played today or not.
Oh, I hope
We're
so.
not telling anybody else if they didn't see it.
Okay. It's a good song?
Oh, I was crying, I was laughing so hard, and then I watched it again, and my husband watched it, and we're like, it's perfect.
Yeah.
The fear that they posted.
Yeah.
You see it? That was flipping hilarious. Hilarious, something, did you just randomly find
I was-
it?
I was driving and I had the radio on because I wasn't listening to my, yeah. And then all of a sudden it came out. I was like, oh my God, I gotta find this. Is it-
It was just, I was cracking up,
Yeah.
and this was like, what is so funny? I'm like, you gotta listen to
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
It was
no, I just
perfect.
heard it on the radio and made sense.
What happened? How are you? Very good. Did you get the email? With a link yet? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's correct.
I know.
So I have no idea. It will be a surprise.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Yeah. Good. There was actually just music on. Oh, it just ended.
Came in right between songs.
Like just saying that it is wrapped. Again, with the food truck. Huh? They said these are making well, or let, you know, maybe, let us know. Maybe that's part of the whole thing is there's so many businesses back there. Right. Maybe people just are hard to- No. Yes. Or maybe people just don't have an office. That was the whole thing, reality, isn't it? Yeah, and there was a couple times. Yeah. Here, yeah, nobody said. Right. Oh, yeah. Something like this. Yeah, I want to. Focus title. Focus title is the best. Right. Oh, look at this. Oh my God, it's hilarious, but I just don't want to. Find me eventually.
We're here with officers. There's home serve. Wait, we're off. Just question where it was. That was the first one, so we got lucky there. Second one, it's on lender. I mean, honestly, $400 pretty much. Okay. So on buyer side, it's settlement, 400 lender title, and then
Roll. And right.
Thank you. Okay, we're here.
This is something that we haven't had to deal with.
I just had a buyer.
For now. For now. It's silver though.
Well, my beard's not yet.
Yeah. As far as you know.
My mustache is for me, it's silver.
It's weird, like my said my hand. Yeah.
Nobody wants to get in front. What
Oh, no, we were invited, but.
Yep, been there. Yep, I get it.
Oh.
Are we gonna win this tournament or the outing on Saturday?
Yeah, dude, did you slip?
Alrighty.
Oh, yeah?
I lost. Because, not because I did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Welcome. Thanks for being here. You're so
I know
nice.
how it is to.
Thanks. You're so nice and
Summer
close.
vibes.
I know, it's okay.
No, it's hard when you don't have people.
It's all right. It's all right. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate everybody who is here. So it is, what's the date today? Of
November.
I meant,
November 9th.
It's November 9th. Uh-oh. Why do we say that in real estate? Everything we do today shows up 90 days later, right? If we start doing squats today, we might have results in 90 days. It's the same thing. It takes longer than 90 days for that though. So welcome, welcome. Busy schedule. Is that me? What is that? Oh. Okay, hang tight. That's fine. Okay, hang tight. Does this work? Let me just see. I don't know.
No, this doesn't. And what am I? Just click the, oh, I'm always computer. Just click the space bar or the arrow.
That's
Okay, so snacks. Thank you, transaction coordinators of Focus Title. Thank you for the snacks. So we have James and Leah. Leah is shadowing James. She's newer, mainly works out of the North Shore office.
I've been working for 2 years, actually.
I lied. She's been working for 2 years.
Yeah, newly full-time though.
But we haven't seen you here in this office before.
Yeah, new to this office.
Newer to this office and going to be supporting James. So transaction coordination, like it's basically free, no risk, because you don't get charged till the time of closing. Like, duh, why would you not do that? Because I don't think any of you are good at details, are you? You're realtors. Yeah, you're laughing up there. So here's the deal. You take your accepted offer and you have all those details in between, right? Those dates, those deadlines. I call it chasing. All we do is chase. Where's the lien waiver? Where's the update on the loan commitment? And oh, by the way, there's a well in septic, yada, yada. Well, who likes that? Anyway, that's why you hire transaction coordination. So it's only $295 and you don't get charged till closing. Like, bring it all day long. Good explanation. Can somebody put that on a flyer? Okay, so we have some welcomes. We have Tracy Young. I don't see her here. So Tracy Young came from First Choice, sells about 30, 40 homes per year, is down in help me, what's that?
Waterford.
Waterford. I almost said Watertown, but that's the difference. Waterford area. So if you guys don't want to do that area, or you want somebody who knows that area really well, that's mainly where she does her business. And then she just happens to be Sarah Mundy's mom, who came over from North Shore to this office. So they're going to be forming a team. And then we have Ricky Vang. Is Ricky here? Newly licensed, and so welcome.
Kim, we worked with Tracy at Charles Du Berlin for many years, so I'd say Scott, myself, Jackie, Renee, I don't know if Jeff was there at the time, some others, Joe, so like we know her back from our office days. She's really cool and very experienced, like you said, in that like Michigan, Waterford, Racine County, Lake area, so.
That's awesome. All right, so we have July recognition. So just a reminder, KW Awards, study that. If you're looking to get the double gold or you want the platinum, you know what you need to do based on your GCI and units. We give awards. KW gives awards based on GCI and units. We do, however, in the office also recognize volume that we pull internally. If you have any questions on that at all, do not kill the messenger. Feel free to go talk to Allison or Michelle. So let's first start with our top 15 GCI month of July. So check this out. This is who you should take out, or they should take you out to lunch. We got Chris Keffer, we got the Jean Greco's, Dan Callis, Krickelbergs. We have some new names up here. We have Dana, Terry Lewis, Lisa Packard, Sarah Papp. We have Jeremy Reinders and Scott. We have Singsheim and Nevin. We have the Smiths, Steph Sosa, Rebecca Stuckert, and Alex Van Dyke and Jackie Boyd. $1 million month for July club. We have Lifetime, Reliance, Krickerberg, Gepperts, Mindbright, Rebecca Stuckert, the Baumgartner Group, Terry Lewis, and Team Smith. Wait, I got one more slide. Don't clap yet. We got Team Packard. We have Dana. We have Level Up, which is the Shipleys. We have Schmidt Group, Simplified. We have 1120, Callis, Father Daughter, and Nate Ingles new on the list. That is a great list. Okay, so we've got our individual top closed volume. Again, the volume is here internally. It may be different in MLS, but this is just based on the volume we have here. So Rebecca, Terry, Dana, we have Nate Ingles, Ben Murphy, Phil Hansen, Sue Arnold, Alex Van Dyke, Laura Glassmeyer, Steph Sosa, Allison Marr, and Tanika. Yep, and that's it. So yeah. Then we have our teams, which is 2 licensees. We have Reliance, Gepper, Baumgartners, Team Smith, Team Packard. We have the Schmidt Group, 1120, Callis Real Estate. We have Father Daughter and CGR. And then we have our groups, which is 3 licensees or more. We have the Lifetime Realty Group, Krickeberg, MindRight, Level Up, Simplified Realty Group. Awesome. Now it gets fun. We have our year to date. So any questions at all, feel free, like I said, to see Allison. And if you are newer to this office, we do give you credit for the production that you did before coming here. So you do have to give that information to Allison because we don't know, right? If that makes sense. So Nate Engel's at the top at 11.5, and we got Sarah Papp, Rebecca, Allison, Terry, Ben, Terry, Peters, Steph, Alex, Mandy, Nicole. We got Dana, Phil, Jen, Amy. People always wonder why I read these off because I know you guys can read, but just in case you're listening, I want you to hear your name. Danielle Kenny, Catherine Gorel, Casey Meaden, Sue Arnold, Alex, Mari, Taylor. We have Amy Berger, Katie, Stacy Lindstrom, Rachel Helsander, Andrew Johnson, Dan Bain, Ryan. Is there one more page?
No, I think you're right. You might
Let me look.
that far.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I'm missing you. Shoot. Oh, no. Someone's gonna yell at me. All right. Oh, I forgot Amy Ryback. I forgot Stephen Williams. So there you go, individuals. And then we have maybe. Wait, maybe because I moved this bar.
Yeah, click back on the screen.
How do I get rid of this bar? Wait. I know, we think this is. Why is it not on screen? Help. Hey, you guys. Okay, teams. Okay, teams, 2 licensees. We've got Reliance Real Estate Team, Team Packer, Baumgartner, 1120 Callis, the Gephardt, the Schmidt Group, Father-Daughter Team, CPR, and Team Smith. You have to stay there. Sure. Just so you know. We have our groups, 3 licensees or more. So in case you're trying to get up there. So we've got the Krickeberg Group, we have Lifetime Realty Group, MindRight Group, we have Level Up and Simplified. Let's also recognize our units, right? So our individual units, check those out. Sarah Papp, hello, she's your compliance broker. She reads all your contracts. Can you believe she does that and that? Sarah Papp, Terry Lewis, Allison Mar, Rebecca, Nate, and Ben for our individuals. And we have our teams, Reliance, Team Packard, Callis, Baumgartner, 1120 Father-Daughter. And then we have our groups, the Krickeberg, Lifetime, MindRight, Level Up, and Simplified. Woo! All right, your turn.
Bringing me up pretty dang quick.
Yeah.
All right, that's all good. Did they set up, can we zip forms on there to get into? By chance? How y'all doing? We're gonna have fun today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I just need to read these. No, this is all good. All right, so we have a new clause that we're gonna look at. And then we're going to talk about buyer agency agreements. How excited? Are we excited?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Be excited. Okay, so here's what I want to show you, and I'm just gonna jump in here to find it the easy way instead of getting in and out. So there was some language that came to us that Jen Strelka is using. We have a lot of concerns and issues with trying to get permission to deliver loan commitments, right? Right?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, we need permission from the buyer to deliver the loan commitment. Why do we need written permission in some way, shape, or form from the buyer prior to delivering a loan commitment? Because it's on the offer. Well, okay, so our fiduciary responsibility though is not just because it's in the offer. So yes, we have something in the offer that needs to be met. But what happens, I'll rephrase it. So what happens if you were to deliver a loan commitment to the listing agent without the buyer's permission first? What possibly could happen?
You satisfy that contingency, and if there is something else going on that they need to utilize to get the
Right.
transaction, you've now removed that ability.
Okay, so did you hear what Tony said? What happens when you deliver the loan commitment? What happens to the financing contingency? It's gone.
Bye-bye.
What if the buyer didn't look at that loan commitment first? And there were terms or conditions in that loan commitment that they did not agree to? Do they have a way out?
No,
Whose
you
problem?
realtor have to now buy the home.
That's right.
No, just kidding.
No, well, but I mean, think about that. So one of the issues we have and why we want written permission, other than them just signing or initialing the loan commitment, is that it doesn't specifically state that the buyer has reviewed the terms and conditions and approves them before you send it to the listing agent. Okay, so it's really important, but we've got a clause now that you can put into your offers to purchase. Okay, so instead of having to do another form where you can add this and it says buyer and seller agree that the requirement for delivery of buyer's written direction for delivery of the loan commitment to seller shall be satisfied without separate documentation, provided the buyer signs the loan commitment. Does that help?
Yeah. But isn't that already under the financing contingency?
They have to initial
language?
it.
Right.
They
have
can
to sign
initial it, it's not the same. And the reason we're doing this is because we as a firm are asked that they actually, you either have a notice.
Mhm.
Okay, initialing the loan commitment for us is not good enough because it's gotten people into trouble. Okay, we need either the permission to deliver form or the notice because the buyer is now signing it, or by signing this, the buyer is saying, look, if I sign the loan commitment letter from my lender, I'm telling you, I'm giving you permission to deliver it to the listing agent. There's a difference between them initialing the loan commitment, which I know it says that in the offer to purchase. I've had multiple conversations with Tracy Rucka, who is an attorney for the WRA. It's one of the things she agrees with that she wants them to change, and so far they haven't done it. You also watch your loan commitment letters when you get them. There are some lenders that actually have the language in the loan commitment letter that says, by signing this, the buyer agrees to allow this letter to be provided to the listing agent. So it is in some, but you need to have something because yes, the offer says they can just initial it. But that is not the buyer's giving specific permission to deliver the loan commitment and saying that they have reviewed it and agree with the terms and conditions. Buyers have tried to get out because of something that changed in their financing that they don't agree with, and it was too late because that letter was already sent to the listing agent. Don't get yourself in that situation. It's not pretty. Yes.
So are you saying that if we do have this language in our buyer agency agreements that we don't?
In
need
the
that?
offer to purchase. This
Oh,
is
in the offer.
this is in lieu of,
Okay. in the
this is
offer.
in lieu of the actual notice or written permission to deliver document.
Okay,
So you can put this in, but make sure you're explaining to your buyers, hey, by doing this, I want you to know,
yeah,
I'm going to advise you to review that commitment letter and make sure you agree with it, and then I'm gonna have you sign it, and that will give me the permission then to deliver it.
Okay.
Questions, make sense? Helpful? Make it a little easier?
I would just say we should explain the fact that even though there's all the stipulations in our loan commitment, they're completely irrelevant and they almost should not be in there because once they deliver it, it's delivered. And there may not be a lot of people that understand that.
Yeah.
Like they think those stipulations are actually stipulations when contractually they're not.
Right.
Yeah. We have this like false sense of, oh, well, this has to happen or this has to happen. Once you deliver it, those are irrelevant,
Right.
at least legally or contractually.
And that's what happens is all of a sudden it's delivered and now there's an issue, and I have agents calling all the time, as does Sarah. Well, can't they use the financing contingency to get out of the deal if their financing's rejected? No, it's not part of the offer anymore once that letter was delivered.
And I would just, by that's kind of scary too, is, so we review all of the, those loan commitments to verify like what additional contingencies or conditions are still in there. Because we've gotten lenders who have just thrown us a loan commitment. It's like, wait a minute, you still have to verify X, Y, and Z. Like,
Mhm.
we're not comfortable with this. Is the client aware that
Right.
these things are still, and sometimes it's the client who hasn't provided it, and sometimes it's the loan officer that's just trying to meet the deadline.
Yeah.
And is jammed up in, the
Yeah, so
process.
it oftentimes is the buyer's agent's pushing the loan officer and the loan officer, well, I can give it to you, but it's gonna have a bunch of conditions on it. Because you're trying to meet the deadline in the offer to purchase, but that's not being a fiduciary to your buyer.
Right.
And you need to look at it, and like Tony said, a lot of times there's conditions in there that the buyer just wants the house. So they're gonna sign it for you to send it so that they meet the deadline, and they don't even read what they're signing or understand what it says.
And even with, reading it and all of those things, as an admin, I'm still verifying with the agent even before I would send a loan commitment to the other side. Just to make sure, because, in the early days, there were times I've sent them and they didn't want us to, and now
Right.
we deliver that, and we can't go back.
That's exactly where this started.
Yeah.
You have to, that's why we need to have some kind of written permission from the buyer. Because there were times, and we've been in this business a long time, Rich, I'm sure, where that loan commitment from some lenders, they would send it directly to the listing agent.
Yeah.
They did, not you.
Yeah.
Not you, but it happened a lot. Well, now the listing agent has it, it's been delivered, and the buyer's going, whoa, 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 wait a minute. I just read it and I don't agree to this. Financing contingency is no longer a part of the offer. Okay, so we're trying to simplify it for you to give you another option. If you put this in the offer to purchase, make sure you are explaining to your buyer what happens when you deliver that loan commitment. And then when you get it, review it with them and make sure if they have any questions, they go to their lender and get their questions answered before you deliver it. If it is the deadline, extend the deadline. Just extend the deadline, and don't cut yourself short by saying you're gonna deliver a loan commitment in 18 days, unless you talk to the lender first and make sure that can happen. Okay, questions? Good? Okay, so let's talk about the buyer agency agreement. One simple thing that I wanna read first, that I get a lot of questions on. If you look at the very first paragraph, I get a lot of agents that are saying, well, I had so-and-so show the house. Am I still able to write an offer as a buyer's agent? Yes. Okay, I just had that question again earlier this week, because it does say that, that the client, if you look at lines 2 and 3, the client gives the firm and its agents the exclusive right to act as buyer's agent or represent the tenant. Okay, so that's a really simple thing. A lot of people didn't know that. So I just want to make sure you all know it's fine. So you can have someone, you're on vacation, you're showing help, whatever, that's okay. But here's what I'm seeing a lot of, and I don't want you guys to get in trouble. So I have questions. How many of you, by a show of hands, have a consultation with a buyer before you show them any properties? Okay, everybody that has your hand up, leave them up. How many of you will not show a house to a buyer until the buyer agency agreement is signed? Okay. For all of you that have, okay, but now I want you to think about, because there's a lot of problems that we're experiencing. There's a lot of procuring cause problems and other problems. So for all of you, when you meet with a buyer or not, if you're meeting them at a house for the first time, how many of you schedule your showing as pre-agency?
There's no buyer agency agreement.
How many of you are scheduling it as a buyer's agent, even though you know you don't have it signed yet? Oh, come on, I know you do it. I know you do it. Okay.
But sometimes the pre-agency isn't an option.
It's
Then you
either
put
pre-
it in the notes.
It's either pre-agency or there's another option.
Sellers.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
so here's what happens. So I want to give you a scenario and I want to hear what your thoughts are on this. You have a buyer referred to you, sign, call, whatever. and you immediately run out and say, yep, I can show you that house, and you meet them at the house. You've scheduled the showing either as seller's agent, pre-agency, whatever the option is. I would say check seller, but then put in the notes, because you always have an option to put in notes that this is pre-agency. You show them the home, they love it, they want to write an offer. Can you at that point write the offer as a buyer's agent?
No. If you get that signed.
At the time of the offer?
No, you cannot unless you get written permission from the listing agent.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
What? And that's what people don't understand. You were not a buyer's agent when you showed the property. You need to at least call the listing agent or send a text, send an email and just say, hey, you know what? When I scheduled the showing, it was a first meeting. I just showed it because the seller and the listing agent, when you're showing it, they have information that you are not working as a buyer's agent. You are to get permission to say, hey, this is what happened. They now want to hire me as a buyer's agent. Is that okay with you that I'm writing the offer as a buyer's agent? I know that's funky, but you didn't show the house as a buyer's agent. Have the consultation first.
Where is that language?
And so
Where is that language or direction? Like the
I
rule?
can find the regulations for you.
Okay.
But I'll talk to Tracy about it again. And this has happened even years ago and people got in trouble for it.
So I completely understand and agree, in a perfect world, right? We would do
Right.
a
Yeah.
consultation, strategy session, get the buyer agency agreement, go through the proper procedures, but let's all be realists, right? Sign calls, realtor.com leads, cold market type opportunities. We don't have that luxury. Because you got,
Right.
if someone calls and they say, yeah, I'm interested in 123 Anywhere Street, and I say, great, the first step in our process is to sit down for a 45-minute buyer strategy. Click, they're on to the next agent.
Agreed.
So we do at times have to schedule the showing to build the relationship so we can transition them into those strategy sessions. So what is the best, knowing that that is inevitable, what is the best process for that so that we are minimizing our risk and we are being compliant?
To have the conversation before you walk in the door, to just say, look, I have to explain, when we are viewing this house right now, there are going to be questions that I cannot answer. State regulations, blame it on the state.
State.
Blame it on the state. We are regulated in how we represent buyers and sellers, and at this point, I cannot legally answer a lot of your questions. There is a brochure, and I know I've given them out to some. I swear this brochure from the state that talks about buyer's agency. Hand them the brochure. It's got a lot of legalese in it, and then the last page says what a buyer's agent can do for you: advocate, counsel, negotiate on your behalf, represent your best interests, provide you with information. Hand it to them and say, look, this is how we have to follow the right regulations to legally represent your best interest and be your advocate. Let's take a look at the house, know that there may be questions that I can't answer, and then let's talk about it and see if we want to keep moving forward. If they do want to buy the house, then just, talk to the listing agent. Isn't going to tell you no.
Right.
They're not going to tell you no, but really that is the right procedure to follow, because if you don't, and you write it as a buyer's agent, and here's where people get in trouble, especially now. There have been a lot of things, we've had issues with procuring cause, but we've also had sellers who have cameras and recordings. So remember, there's a very high probability when you're showing houses you're being watched or recorded. And then people get into trouble. I'll be right with you guys.
Isn't ultimately an issue with disclosure that if you disclose what agency you had, you're not able to change that type of agency without permission of the other party, right? That's what we're getting into. So that it's not disclosed to the listing agent and the seller up front what your agency is, then if that first disclosure is happening in the offer, then it shouldn't be an issue then, right? It's only an issue because Showing Time is asking us what our
Right.
agency is.
And you should be honest about it when it asks.
Yeah, I'm not saying you should lie.
Well,
if
but
they didn't
even
ask, it
prior to showing time, agents asked. We were asked.
And I don't think.
Were
can
you asked,
schedule it.
Jake, when you were showing stuff, we always, well,
Yeah.
I had a lot of agents ask us, are you a buyer's
Well,
agent?
Word implied, like I said, my friend John calls and says, Jay, my daughter, I want to buy this house for my daughter, or whatever, she's all set, everything, we want you to be our agent, can you meet us there in an hour and a half? I set it up, I don't have anything signed, I set it up, my buddy John and his daughter are gonna meet me there, I show his daughter the house, it's implied, I always said, implied was fine, I set it up as a buyer agent, because John says, I'm gonna be the agent for his daughter, and we get. there
And that-
stuff- Usually
Okay,
implied, remember
but-
the word implied.
But
It's
that's
implied
where people
agency.
got in trouble.
Right.
And we have had agents get in trouble because it was implied but not signed. And the seller was an attorney and recorded them.
The thing is that what I'm hearing you say is more about also the conversation we're having at the home. And it's the
Yes.
recordings that are happening that
Yes.
are throwing us under the bus.
Right, and so really, what I'm trying to, number one, if it is at all possible, you are not practicing real estate the right way, in my opinion, if you do not have a consultation first. The buyer should know, and if you're doing the right thing, you should have the conversation, you should be explaining to them what representation is and have them make the decision. If they decide not to sign it right away, you can't force them. If you have the right scripts, you can probably have them sign it before you show them a house because they want the information. Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I want to make sure I have the legal opportunity to give you all the information you need to make the best decision for you and your family. Does that make sense? Hang on, okay.
Verbal permission from the listing agent is sufficient to,
Better to have it in email or text. It actually just happened to me on Saturday. Past client called, said, hey, I want to see this condo and I think I want to make a cash offer as an investment property. And, okay, and I didn't have the, but I know the agent, I just said, hey, look, here's this, and she's fine. And we did it via email so that I have it. Danielle?
So if we show it before we have buyer agency signed, and if we're writing an offer, which I always have them complete the buyer agency first,
Mhm.
we have to exclude that property in the buyer agency on the buyer agency form.
No, you don't, because you showed it. Those are exclusions or properties that somebody else might have procuring costs. You don't have to exclude it.
But then writing the offer, we have them sign it, writing the offer, we're still not a buyer agent for that property. We hadn't had it. signed
Unless you
before.
talk to the agent and just say, hey, you know what, first time meeting the buyer, just met them there. They love it, we're writing an offer. I didn't schedule the showing as a buyer's agent because I hadn't met with them yet. Is it okay if I do so?
I think people might
9
be
times out of
confused
10,
when we
it's
say
not gonna
that
be
to
a
them.
problem, but we have had agents get into issues with this. So I just want you guys to be aware, Teresa.
So that's kind of my question, just about procuring cause, right? So without an agency, technically you're working on behalf of the seller, right?
Correct.
So if you were to show this property without agency, the seller though has a listing agent representing them. And now we're gonna write an offer on this property, right? And now we're contacting this listing agent, and the listing agent, you're telling them we're writing this offer. Have there ever been scenarios where now the listing agent wants procuring cause because you showed that pre-agency?
No, that has nothing to do with
Okay.
procuring costs.
Okay.
What it does have an issue with procuring cause is when you have a buyer who is running around with multiple agents and you
Gotcha.
don't have this signed. And we've
Okay.
had that happen a lot
Makes
this
sense.
year, where we've had issues, haven't we?
Yes,
Yep.
we have.
And you guys are one of them.
Yep.
Jeremy?
So to Danielle's point and the other question, could they put something in the offer that says all parties acknowledge that agent showed property as seller's agent and
Ooh,
signed
there
by.
you
No,
go.
pre-agency, do not use seller agents. Yep, you could do that.
Ooh,
All
I like
buyer-
that
yeah,
a bit
All
better.
parties.
Slide it in there, Jeremy.
Yep.
Say it again.
Right
Yep.
there.
And then that scenario you mentioned, we've all done that
Yeah.
for sure. But if you actually do have that conversation at the door and at least tell them, it's instantly going to set you apart from the other 10 people that didn't bring it up.
Yes.
Talk it straight into the ring.
Yes. No, seriously.
And they're going to instantly think in their mind,
Seriously.
well, why did that person an hour ago or a week
Right.
ago bring this up? Like,
Well, and that's one of the questions when a new buyer comes to us, is the first question, are you working with any other realtor? Well, yes. Did they take the time to sit down with you and tell you what buyer agency means in the state of Wisconsin and how we can legally represent your best interests? No, I have no idea what you're talking about. Cool, you're in, because you're the only one that's bringing it up.
So maybe we could have that language, Jeremy. Could we
But, yeah, you
create some
could.
language to
All
put in?
parties, yeah, we can do that, we can put it in.
I like
If it's
that.
Yeah, because I
pre-agency.
think there was a great point.
That was good.
You said that if you reach out to a listing agent
They're gonna be like, what?
and
the-
tell them like, hey, just let you know, I showed the proper pre-agency and for our broker compliance, we now need to get your permission to write the offer as a buyer agent.
I'm not gonna make you do it,
Right.
okay? I'm not making you do
They're
it.
gonna be
This is
so
not something
confused.
that's gonna be
Yeah.
required. If you know the agent, I knew the agent really well this weekend, which is not why I brought this up. This has been, we've been getting a lot of issues for months on procuring cause and
Yeah.
buyer agency.
I think Jeremy, that's a great
But yeah,
solution.
all parties
Okay.
agree
Solves it,
that,
yeah.
the agent writing this offer showed the property pre-agency and is now
Representing as a buyer.
representing as buyer's agent.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah,
too,
I
like,
love that.
it's not the worst thing in the world if you end up writing it as a
As
seller's agent
a,
or.
as a sub-agent for
Yeah, I
the
mean,
seller.
I've had that happen
It's
many
not-
times the last year.
Yeah.
If you bring it up and they don't want to, okay,
Yeah.
then they'll write it
Yeah.
as. seller's
And
agent.
some people are very savvy. Some people, some buyers think they're very savvy. If you have the conversation and they choose not to sign the buyer agency agreement and they clearly understand there are going to be questions that you can't answer. There's going to be information they're gonna ask for that you cannot give them to them because you're working as a sub-agent for the seller. As long as they understand it and they sign the disclosure to customers, I've had it happen, and they then ask questions while we're writing an offer, and I'm sorry, I can't, that's one of the questions I can't answer.
One more thing, what's your opinion on somebody writing a buyer agency that only applies to one property?
I'm sorry. I'm
That
not-
only applies to
Yeah.
one property,
It depends on the situation.
but it's allowed, I mean, you're.
Oh, yeah, you can,
approving them.
you can.
I mean, we've done, I haven't
Yeah,
had one like.
you can. Yeah, it depends, absolutely.
Do that at the front porch, just have them sign based on that one property you're walking into.
Any other
Yeah,
quick
we've done-
questions?
I know
You
it's done.
could.
No,
Based
thank
on
you, Chris.
Jeremy's language,
That's
I think the language that he brought up, wouldn't you almost need to have that in there? Because as a listing agent, if another agent came to you and said that, like, you don't really have the authority to make that decision. Do you, like, wouldn't you have to consult your seller on that?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, you do.
So
You have to
can't
talk to
say,
the
"Yeah, go
seller.
ahead," You'd have to ask
Yeah.
the seller.
Yeah, you have to talk to the seller.
All right.
Okay, I'll be around if you have any other questions.
All good. Oh, we forgot, but I can point it out.
Oh, yes, please. I didn't.
That's okay. Who got their CE done?
Oh, no.
Shut up.
I'm totally lying.
That's a
I
lie.
thought about it.
Yeah, I knew it right away. The two that raised their hand, I'm like, no.
Sarah Pass.
We were out.
Sarah,
drinking.
yes,
later.
that's done, of course.
I have it on the calendar for December 12th.
Show on.
December 13th at 7 p.m.
Okay, okay, so the deadline is December 14th. You don't want to do it on December 13th. So, go to WRA.org. It's like $135. I don't even know, something like that. You can watch it online. So CE. You cannot renew your license to the state unless you complete that.
I didn't know that was up there.
Did
And
we all get an email about that?
No,
No one is talking about it this early.
actually, we did. It was in the last GMAR newsletter that I.
Yep,
did.
and we're
It only went up to overachievers.
so it's time for us to bombard you with the info so you don't forget. You need to be motivated.
Yeah. Woo-hoo, we all love CE. Yes, Jeremy, as,
Real quick, just on some more contract stuff before Rich comes up. We had a GMAR addendum A meeting and there's gonna be some big changes.
come on up.
Yeah, you can go.
Every minute matters.
So they're gonna be releasing their own
Don't trip.
escalator clause form, so we're all operating under the same one. And they're gonna be putting in some stock language about appraisal gap and inspection gap coverage into the contract. So we're not all writing our own and coming up with
Love
our own.
it. I love that.
Thank you.
That's a great update.
That'll be probably by in usage by November.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right when we don't need it.
Yeah. 2
Hi,
years
Rich.
Hi, just a couple quick things. With rates starting to move back down, we're starting to issue no closing cost refinance. And what I mean by that is there's no closing costs at all. No title company fees, no appraisal fees, no anything. If we get waivers for them, that's awesome as well. So they don't have to do.
So like
appraisals.
free?
Yes.
Free.
Yes.
Free.
So, and if we can get appraisal waivers or get them a higher appraisal and they're paying PMI, in some cases, we can get that reduced. That was one quick thing. Non-warrantable condos. I'd really like to go over that more with you guys in depth, but if anybody's working on any new condo projects or anything new, we can do those 30-year fixed rate finances right out of the bat. First unit, we're the only lender in the state that I know that still does those. Johnson Bank used to, but I've heard that they're not anymore. So we're the only lender that can do 30-year fixed rate financing out the door, first unit, no pre-sales required.
That's good.
And that is something, so if anybody's working on any projects, please come to us and talk to us. We can help you. We'll set up a brochure, we'll get you all set up, explain how the program works. We'll get the condo pre-approved so that when they come, they're done. There's nothing to do. It's a pre-approved condo project and you're ready to rock and roll. Also, most of you don't think about this, and it may be something you don't realize. When a lender locks in a rate for your customers currently, they're locked in at that rate, and that's the rate they're going to close at. What happens if rates drop? We have a float down option on all of our 30-year fixed rate product.
Just did it. I just did it.
And we just did it for him. We started with one rate and rates got better and we relocked her at a lower rate. And how much did that cost you?
Nothing. I just had
Zero.
conversations
Yep.
with
Yep.
Gustavo the
Yep.
whole time.
Exactly.
He's like, do you want to risk it? I was like, risk it, baby.
Yeah. So we have the
Pull the
option.
lever. Let's risk it.
It's an awesome program. It gets you a lower interest rate. And I guarantee you, almost everyone you're working with does not offer that product. And it's zero cost. I mean, it doesn't cost them a single penny. We change closing costs absolutely zero. It's a big deal, especially now with rates starting to drop. It's a big advantage for our customers and our clients. And we can do that up to 10 days before closing. So
I
it's
didn't risk it that long.
yeah, I know. But you can do it anytime in between. Say, hey, the rates have dropped 3/8 of a point. Let's relock you. Let's get you a better rate. And boom, we've renegotiated your rate and got you a better rate.
Thanks.
Along those same lines, let's say you do a 60-day rate lock,
Mhm.
and then you get into 44 days or less, and then could you change it to a lesser rate because then you're within 45 days or no?
Sure, you can do it anytime. You can do one time.
Okay.
So if rates take a big drop and you want to lock in because you think they're not going to go any lower, call us, let us know, say, hey, Rich, do I qualify for this? Here's where we are, here's where we're at, and we can do that. And everything's based on the original rate lock sheet. So if a client paid a point or something like that to get a lower interest rate, that point still qualifies for that lower interest rate as well. So we'll just move all of that forward. And that's a big option. And a lot of people don't know that. Also, we can do rate locks. Most lenders will tell you 30, 45 days is their max. We can go out pretty much as far as you need to, up to 180 days. Now, if we're going out that far, the rates are nowhere near as good as what a 30-day rate lock would be. Please understand that. But if they're looking to do something where they're not going to be able to move in because the buyer or the seller needs 3 months to close, we can get them a 90-day rate lock that's really close to market and still offer them that float down option. So that's another big advantage that A+ has, and we want to make sure that you guys are aware of this. Also, another zero down payment program, no money down program. It is not to 80% of the median income. It actually goes to 140% of the median income. So that's a really nice thing too. So if you've got somebody who doesn't have a lot of money to put down, first-time home buyer, or something like that, they can be a second-time home buyer and keep the property they currently have, or we go to 140% median income. So I thought all those things were kind of really important that we bring up. Non-warrantable condos, huge thing. It's a big advantage for A+. We worked 7 years with Freddie Mac to get that program. It wasn't something that happened overnight. It was a real ordeal to get it due. And we do take reps and warrants on those transactions. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of your customers and really going the extra mile. If you have questions on any of these programs, stop down in our office, see us. We're here all the time for you guys. Our signage is finally going up tomorrow, I understand, after a long delay.
Hey, did you guys also know that there are no funding conditions on A+ loans for 20-minute closings?
Yeah.
We're talking to these
Yeah.
guys. I had over an hour and 20-minute closing waiting for funding the other day.
Yep.
You'll be working with this lender.
Yeah,
We're
no
gonna
funding
repeat that so
authorizations.
people can
Yeah.
hear it.
No funding authorizations numbers. When they sign that last document, that's it, they're done. We do not fax our documents. We do not send your documents anyplace else for the closing. Once that client signs that last piece of paper, you guys can walk out of the room. Most of our closings are 20 minutes or less. Yeah, I mean, they go super fast. We have the smallest package, and Lynn can testify. We have the smallest closing package of any lender out there. Nobody has a small closing package. We do it that way. We can get clients in and out and get them into their houses.
Love
you.
that.
That is awesome. Anybody else? Any questions? If not, come on down the stairs.
Love it.
All right, cool.
The Godfather, the Godfather.
Good information. Just a reminder, going next door, you can start checking in as early as 8. I would suggest not getting there past 8:30. We have almost 200 people that are attending, so.
He asked me today and I said, I think 180 something.
Yeah, something like that. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Can't wait to see you guys there. So if you cannot make it, let me know. I'm gonna take some copious notes between Kelly and I. Will share notes. Go ahead.
Also, we just found out that they want you to bring your shift books.
Oh,
Have a
yes.
copy.
If you have a shift book, bring your shift book with you. Shifted. And then for all of you that are not going to Austin for Mega Camp, the deadline is today. So make sure that you register if you are going to plan on watching this with us at the Hot House. So today, does anybody yet still need to register that wants to go watch this virtually together? No, you guys all registered. Or you can also register on your own and pay and watch it virtually from your own house. But it's gonna cost you more than $15 and you won't get free lunch. Well, maybe you will, but I'm just saying, so, okay? And then just a reminder that next week, Tuesday, no biz skills, no team meeting, like we're all going to Mega Camp. You all should be going to Mega Camp.
That's it.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, I lied, 2 weeks,
Ooh.
see, just making
No
sure you're paying attention.
Today.
I wish it were next week.
No business skills today.
Oh, no business skills today after the team meeting, so. And then also for tomorrow, following James Shaw right afterwards, just a reminder that you can watch this on Zoom. So you want to go to the narrepmilwaukee.org/events, see that at the bottom right there? And then, does anybody know who this is?
He's attractive.
Oh, he's over there. Look at that guy.
That's a Krickenberg.
It's a Krickenberg. It's a Krickenberg.
Capital N. Capital N.
There's a D at the end.
Angelique?
The event is actually from 3 to 3:30,
Oh,
and we are hosting a networking in person afterwards at the Iron Horse from 4 to 6.
Oh, I
We'll be
love
hosting
the
appetizers
Iron
and
Horse.
drinks.
from 4 to 6, Iron Horse, we may just show up for that. Not that we don't love you, Jake Krickenberg.
You guys are gonna need some drinks after all that excitement from the shift for James Shaw.
Love the Iron Horse.
Which, Kim, can I add something real?
Yeah,
James Shaw, if you have a shift book, please bring it,
yes.
because not the admin just let me know today that they would like you to have that there if you have it. If you don't, we will have some that we can sell, but we only have like a dozen, so first come, first served, if you want to buy it. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, and then scan this, everybody. I have to read the details. So we'll talk about this again at the team meeting. I have not read up on this yet. So here, just hang tight. This was going to be led by Zach Shipley and Yoli. So let me just read. Register now to become an agent of distinction and enroll in the KW's diversity certification program. Upon completion, you'll have the education resources and tools needed to successfully tailor your business models to appeal to a wider customer base. So we'll be bringing some more information because apparently you have to register by the 19th, which is next week, Thursday or something. Does anybody know? Friday. So I would suggest scanning that to learn a little bit more information on that. And seeing as we don't, oh no, we'll talk about it at the team meeting next week. I'm so messed up. I feel like it's like way further ahead than what it is. All right, Scott, want to come up here and talk about seller communication? What? We have to communicate?
Okay. All right. So I have another thing to just share really quickly from, oh, that's cool. Does that like move?
It's okay. I'll walk up. Keep going.
But I have something else that's more just, I guess, pressing or urgent just to share. I have some exciting news for myself and just kind of a big announcement. today, as you know, I like sneak in here late. I'm not just downstairs like twiddling my thumbs, but I start the day in Germantown, the Germantown Keller Williams office, and Germantown has their meeting from 11 to 12. So I start at their meeting from like 11:45, and then I like frantically leave and battle the construction to get here sometime around like 12:20 to 12:30. Just as of today, I had an announcement there that I am stepping down as operating principal of the Germantown office, so I can focus solely on this office and the team. And so I put a lot of thought into it, obviously. It's a big passion of mine to share Keller Williams and to share what it can do. I know what it's done for me. I know what it's done for a lot of people. And it's a people business. And part of this process about 4 years ago, we attracted a really amazing agent named Sarah Dreyer to Keller Williams. And Sarah Dreyer, does anyone know Sarah Dreyer?
Yeah.
So she is like the Holy Hill queen, in that area, and didn't want to drive to New Berlin, every day. So we started talking about what would it look like to expand a little north, and then we started getting more people that were interested, and then all of a sudden, like 1, 2, 3, 4 people. There's 75 people now in that Germantown office, and it's really, really cool. And I just was very honest with myself and very honest with the investors. And I have been feeling for quite a while that I'm not doing well at anything. Has anyone felt that before?
Yeah.
When you're spread so thin that you're just trying to like keep your head above water, which is easier for me than others because I'm taller. But it was still really, really hard, and it was weighing on me heavily. And luckily, as I mentioned this to the investors, timing is everything. Sarah was like, what does OP do? What does that look like? And she semi-raised her hand. She said, "In no means am I saying I'm interested, but I'm just curious." And that's been about 5 weeks now. And she has gone through career visioning with our region, and she's went out to eat with Kim and I, and she's asked tons of questions, and she is going to be taking over as operating principal.
Wow.
That's awesome.
If you can, wish her congratulations, shoot her a text, shoot her a call. There's no one better for that position than her. She'll be local. Her office is like right next to the Gen Church, which is Michelle of that office. And I just believe so strongly that being there is very important. And this is a people business, so it just should be that way. So I won't be late here anymore. If I am, it's for a different reason. You can make fun of me, but I'm just really excited to be able to be here for the team, for the office, and just not be in so many places. I just already feel lighter and like less stressed. So
Yeah.
that's I just share that first. I can share seller communication next week, but you should communicate with your sellers.
Ask them how they like to be communicated with. Okay, I thought I would share a couple of market share totals here. So the last time we pulled this data was in like July 19th. So we'll wait till about that time in August to pull it. It takes about 10 days for MLS to update everything. But look at the great news. Who's number one in the This is total brokerage brand results. You can see based on closed volume in Milwaukee, Waukesha, Washington, Ozaukee, Racine. We tend to concentrate on our 5-county area. And this is pulling the brokerages all together. So it's all of the Keller Williams offices. That's the power in the number. And then this is where we have been. Oh, my little lines are missing. But just take a look at where all of the Keller Williams offices are lined up. So Another great report to look at, if you look at the green at the top, that's North Shore. The red that's next is Milwaukee Southwest, our office. And then it's a little bit hard. You know what? I'll get you another one in the team meeting recap because I actually have the percentages of market share that we have and the lines so you can read it a little bit better. Because I don't know about you, but can anybody read this? Yeah. So I'll get you the lines so that you can see where all of Keller Williams is, but it's a pretty cool piece. It's a really great piece to add to your toolbox. So that's the point of all of these market share numbers that we're sharing, is pull them out when you need them and somebody is asking you what the market is like, or what's happening, or who is Keller Williams. I don't know who says that anymore. But the point is, at least you have these pieces. So, all right, and then we're gonna end it. We've got some quarterly culture awards. So come on up. So we can start with, we have 6-7 minutes. So Michelle, why don't you start? I can go last.
So my person isn't here, but I don't know, you guys are all like so great. It's really hard for me to pick one out of 170 of you, but my person, it has, I chose her because she has realized recently that she needs to recharge her business. And so she reached out to me to join Homegrown Capper Group. And during the time that we have these meetings, if I've got someone on Zoom or whatever, she's very engaging. She's always asking questions. She's always like, oh, I took 5 pages of notes. It's amazing. So that helps me as an instructor and as a person that's planning these weekly things to keep going. She also really raised her hand at helping with the home garden show. She knew it wasn't a huge success and is really willing to try and do better the next time, when she's always like just willing to learn and take on anybody's advice, and always just willing to take that and run with it. So my person is Sue Arnold, and she's usually.
So I chose my person because she's always willing to help me with all of my contractual questions that I have when I'm processing your commissions and closing out your files. I know she helped Michelle a ton when I was on vacation, and Michelle had my whole workload to do and her own. She's always willing to answer questions, jump in and help, do agent trainings if we need her to. So I just really want to show my appreciation to Sarah Pack.
Yeah.
Very
So my person is, I did not get the chance to hire this person, but I have been working pretty closely since Steph stepped down a little bit from the PC program. So I've been kind of taking that over. And you all know what a bubbly personality she is, and she's ready to take on anything, she'll basically take any lead you give her and any open house request. And she is now the open house queen, the fastest person to graduate the PC program. I'm honoring to
So they came to me this morning at 9:30 and told me I was supposed to give an award to someone. No pressure. I had the privilege of witnessing a conversation right in front of my desk last week, which gave me a wonderful idea to do this. So I have picked this person for team spirit and competitive spirit, Tony G. Greco. Yeah. Because he got his team. Well, there you can.
The whole team, Scott. That's just the third.
That's, I don't know if you guys know what that feels like. It feels great.
How many are on your team now?
Feels like 27. I can't even believe it. You just keep showing up. Showing up.
The appropriate amount.
That is amazing.
Just enough. That's how many we have.
So I have an award that is very cool, by the way. I have an award that goes towards the person who is really running their business. Like I look at, we all own a business. Everyone here owns a business. And mine is someone that is dedicated to growing the business using the tools that Keller Williams has. So the hiring process, everything that they're doing and growing as a leader. And it's amazing to see where she and he are, since when they came to Keller Williams, but really, really big girls here. So my award, if I can only give it to one, goes to Dawn Shipley.
Okay, so I have an award here that I am giving to a person who helps with compliance whenever we need it. Those of you that call understand it's hectic. You know, we're stopping at the last minute to try and help you guys, but we're not always available. And so this person, when I reach out to the rest of the team that is willing to back up and help, this person is almost always, like 99% of the time, the first person to jump in, the first person to help. They have jumped in with quite a few things over time, and I truly, truly appreciate you, James.
Oh, yeah.
My award is going to somebody who's like super bubbly and sunshiny and amazing to have around, but she's also somebody who's like quietly really connected. Like she knows everybody's like jobs and what they do, and we're a really fluid company. And so like here, when I'm in like this like DMC role, and people are like, what even is that? You know, already they're already talking to me about, hey, what are the trainings? And they're the person that comes to me and says, hey, are there any MSW experiences coming up? And like, I'm just so amazed at how like quietly knowledgeable this person is going to be becoming, and we are all going to be reporting to her one day. So my award is for Vanessa Barajas.
Yeah.
She's here, she's downstairs, I think.
She's calling leads.
Yeah, she's Jenny.
See, that really did deserve it.
Yes. So my award is going to an agent for a couple different reasons. One, he is probably the most patient, nice person ever whenever we have some issues. Sorry. Secondly, your social media presence has just blown up lately. So Max.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
It's the only award in 5 years.
Was that everyone? Okay, so then my person I'm just recognizing because they're just a light of sunshine. So whenever you enter their presence, this person is very excited to be here, is starting to embrace all of the KW culture, has brought a new, I guess I would say, awareness to diversity in ways that we can improve, and is constantly showing up as a leader. I know this person is taking their newly licensed agent under their wing as if they're on their team, which is what we want. And so I would like to recognize Angelique Cruz. All right, so I love doing those awards, so that's exciting. Yeah, all right, so any amazing coming soons? Oh, Allison, am I gonna have to buy another house? Okay, go.
Dan Schmidt and I are co-listing 5 buildable vacant lots in the town of Mukwonago. So they are on the corner of River Road, which is County Highway I, and Holiday Road. So they are lots ranging from 3 acres to 4.5 acres, from 168,000 to 189. So if you have any buyers that are interested in either building or just agricultural land, please reach out to us. They're all in delayed status right now, but they will be active tomorrow. And then I listed a Brown Deer 2-bedroom, 1-bath home on Saturday that's still on the market. And it's $199.9, super cute, brand new roof, new gutters, like super updated. So that's all I got. And my 3rd ward condo is still available.
Who else? Go ahead, William.
I'm actually gonna be listing my own condo real soon. It is actually 2 minutes away in the Coach Light Village condominiums, so borderline New Berlin, Brookfield area. It's a first floor corner unit, a little more roomy than other units in buildings, but it's got a very spacious master bedroom with a walk-in closet and a walk-in pantry just adjacent to the it's like hands-free maintenance and it's gonna be moving ready, so I'm looking to go live Thursday at 169.
Is it rentable?
Yes and no, it's only to family members. Actually, just answer that question this morning.
What are the dues on that?
$230 a month.
Does it have the pool?
It does.
Okay, go ahead.
That's a good.
Two coming soon. One's launching this Thursday. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath, 1,300 square foot, main floor, ranch style, open concept condo in Waukesha. We're listing at $239,900. And it's 2-car attached garage, new flooring, fresh coat of paint. It's moving ready. Turnkey. We also have a 4-bed, 2 full bath Cape Cod in Milwaukee, kind of like the north central part of Milwaukee. Really nice updates and improvements, listing at $159,900. That'll be going live next week. Bring your buyer.
Bring your buyers. Lisa?
I have going into delayed tomorrow, a ranch in St. Francis, it's just south of Howard. It's 3 beds, 1 bath plus emergency basement toilet, but there's no sink in there. That's a good way to-
You all the area.
You all know the one.
Emergency.
Yep. Fenced yard, 1-car detached garage plus a parking pad next to it. It'll be 200. It's in nice shape. The kitchen could be updated, but like it's otherwise super nice. And then let me know if you have a buyer in Bayview, a commercial or a or residential. I have a property on Nickadeck Avenue. It could go either way. Someone could live in it, it's ready to live in, or if someone wants a property that they want to open a business in. It's got parking for like 3 or 4. Large home, like just over 2,000 square feet with a lot and a half.
I have a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, all brick ranch detached 2.5-car garage coming up in Greenfield. It'll be live next week, Thursday at $239,900. And then a 4-bedroom plus den, 2.5 bath, 1.5 story master on the first floor in Franklin. Beautiful home, has a lot of updates, and because of hail damage, it will have a brand new roof, siding, and gutters and downspouts, all covered by the insurance. It's already approved at $439,900. That will also be going live next week, Thursday.
All right, anybody else?
Nate Ingles has.
Nate Ingles has 2 Oak Creek properties coming soon and delayed. Status will be live the 19th. And any price it looks like, so. No.
They're already in
I can't remember
delay.
the details on both of them, but one of them has a great accessibility. It's got a main floor, master bedroom and full bath. So if we have anyone who needs that, it's a 4-bed, 2-bath, 350.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you for staying over. Have a great week. Bye.
I'm going to